Hello, my name is Brian Albrecht, President of Gateway Technical College and past President of ACTE. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce you to Brandon Pelissero, Chief Operating Officer for Ecolink. I want to first of all congratulate you on your Business Leader Award for ACTE, a great accomplishment and I'm sure well deserved.
Thank you very much.
Tonight we're going to celebrate a little bit the commitment that your corporation has already made to career and technical education, but before we get into that, if you could just share with us a little bit of why you think it's important that students study career and technical education.
Well, for me personally, when I grew up, we had the only access for this type of programming was outside of the school. So I ended up getting my first taste of career and technical education through junior achievements. And the problem was that was once a week versus 5 days a week. So having something that you get that repetition going through with just like a muscle group, getting to work it out, exercise it, and practice is ultimately, where the students get the greatest gift.
Absolutely. Great answer, because junior achievement would be similar to a career and technical student organization, developing leadership skills, complementing those with technical skills, linking to the community through business partnerships, and Ecolink has done a lot of that to help support schools. Can you share just a little bit about what Ecolink does and why it's so important to our educational systems?
So Ecolink's target focus is really in the marketing sphere. As a member of the American Marketing Association in the Atlanta chapter, we are the only program in the country that is actually working at the high school level to find those up and coming, future leaders of America. So we're very much active in the certification, industry certification of those programs to basically give the gold stamp of approval. So in addition to that, once a program has been certified, we then do some pairings where there will be mentoring and ongoing volunteers within the program as part of their regional and state competitive events. So we'll provide judges that will actually oversee kind of their competitive events as part of the CTSO competitions.
Is that a part of the DECA organization?
That is definitely, in Georgia, we're one of the largest chapters of AMA and DECA.
Okay.
So, there's more than 11,000 students, participating in DECA in the state of Georgia, and we have a great partnership that we'd love to spread to other communities.
That's fantastic. The more we can get business involved in education to support teachers, to help students understand the value of the skills they're learning, maybe demonstrate those through student activities. Clubs are a good way to do all of that. Be measured against industry standards, and by having your employees involved, they get a chance to witness firsthand a lot of the great young people that are coming through our schools across the country. And oftentimes we hear the negatives that are taking place, but under your leadership we're able to showcase the shining stars of our students.
And that's exactly why I keep doing this. 4 years ago I ended up receiving an unsolicited email saying, "Hey, volunteer needed, Savannah spring break." I said, "That's good marketing. Let me go take a look at it."
Yeah.
And a student who was in the 10th grade at the time blew my socks off. He gave me the presentation that I'm still waiting to see from a grown-up or professional. I ended up taking his body of work with me, with the student's permission and his teacher, to a national conference within my industry. It was heard by every time zone in the United States, including Hawaii, because I had a panelist from Hawaii as well as 2 parts of Europe. So that was love at first sight. And for me, it really shows what's possible in our classrooms if we just give them the stage to show their work.
What a powerful statement to be able to help a student see their work go to not only a regional, state, national stage, but to give them the confidence that they have the skills to go on and to be successful in industry or on to post-secondary education. And today a lot is mentioned about the skills gap. Students don't have the right skills to match up to the jobs of tomorrow, and I think it's that business partnership that helps build a bridge back to the schools to help students understand what skills are necessary. I'm sure you see a lot of changes in your industry.
We do, and within our partnership with the high school marketing program, plural, we see a very stark difference with teachers who have had industry experience and then have come into the classroom versus those who just haven't been in the industry, to work from that place. So for us, our goal is where we don't have teachers with that industry experience, prior to teaching, that we really foster and nurture those kind of industry, public-private partnerships, because that's where you can get the best of both, the academic, theoretical, and then the practical, hands-on application.
Absolutely. So what would you say to a teacher that maybe is thinking about getting involved in a business partnership but doesn't really know how to get started? What would you say to them about this will enhance your curriculum and it will change the world for your students?
I think the first place for teachers in a high school, and whether it's business or entrepreneurship or marketing, is to start with your local chamber of commerce. Every community has one, bigger than others depending on your community, but it's rich. Banks are wonderful in terms of they're just an anchor within your community to get started. Restaurants, places like that. Parents, the PTA, I think, is a lesser utilized resource beyond fundraising in a more broad sense. But
Sure.
those are some great avenues that are available in most communities.
Yeah, and great advice. I mean, I think sometimes we tend to say we've got to look outside of our own community, but the more we look in our community, the more solutions we'll find and the more partners we'll find. And I think it's the same for students as well. They read about changes that are happening around the world in the economy and so on, and sometimes we forget about the best solutions are right in our home community. And so what advice would you give a student that's thinking about maybe graduating from high school and taking that next step either into the workplace or onto college?
Well, for the students that I have the privilege of getting to work with one-on-one, there's several thousand, I would say you have a digital self, you have present yourself properly on paper in terms of your resume and your credentials, in person, your interview skills, and then finally in Pixel. Social media is a tremendous opportunity for this generation, and when done properly, not putting all your digital eggs in one basket, your fun, your friends, and then the business side of who you are. But when you can separate that profile that is all about your work, your body of work, your projects, your portfolio, that speaks volumes, and it's accessible 24/7. So you're not limited to the people that you know or that who know you.
Sure.
You're out there in a more public.
Extends your network.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So visibility, I think, is the trump card for all of our students.
When you go back and you work with your employees and you have come back from a great experience at a student organization event, and what do you share with your employees about why they should also get involved?
We have an incredible workplace, volunteer program. It just so happened that the owner of our company and his wife both had a daughter in the DECA program for the very first time. So they had a chance to see it, just in the classroom within their own family to appreciate that. So for us, we have really extended the opportunity to volunteer as well as to almost adopt a school. So we have those adopt a school programs, and just to look over students' programs, on projects.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a regional competition that there's about 10 of those in the state of Georgia. Winners of that go on to the state level, and then the winners of that go on to the national level. But there's a fairly big gap between state and national that we really want to make sure the muscles don't get soft.
Right.
So that's a great opportunity for my colleagues to get connected, as well as the greater community within the American Marketing Association.
Sure. Well, and it's easy to see why you were selected as one of our award winners this year, because your commitment to career and technical education, the engagement that you yourself have personally put involved in it, and the way you've brought your industry to the forefront of helping students support and become successful is certainly a credit. What does it mean to be recognized as a national leader in industry around career and technical education?
I got to tell you, that was a call I was not expecting. I am truly still reeling. I think once I actually get on stage tonight, it'll actually become real. So I'm in the pinch me stage. But for me, it really does validate that, much like what I share with our students in terms of visibility first. Woody Allen has this quote about saying 80% of life is just showing up. So I felt that practicing what you preach is something that in this economy particularly, more virtual and more online, that you're able to really reach a broader audience. And my goal, candidly, for this award is to really promote the program that we have in Georgia and other states. And if we can do that time, 1+, then I feel that this award, one is a tribute to the students that have given me ultimately, this award, and their students and administrators.
Well, congratulations again. Well deserved, and we're very proud to have you a partner with Career and Technical Education.
Thank you.